Story 1. Fiancé is cheating on me and I'm about to end our relationship tomorrow. Please support my channel by hitting the thumbs up. It would mean a lot to me and won't cost you anything. Thank you. Me and my partner have been together for 8 years and engaged for 10 months, with our wedding planned for this fall. We have always had a loving and supportive relationship, and I view her child from a previous relationship as my own. She was with her old partner for almost a decade and she ended things because he was a serial cheater, so I never would have imagined that she would cheat towards me. We did not get engaged sooner because of financial reasons, and she needed to live with her sister and her kids to support them. Her sister now has the funds to pay her own way so she can leave with her kid. It was hard to imagine getting married while living in different homes, so we agreed to wait. We just put in a bid for a home Friday morning. My fiancé was always a bit on the bigger side for the majority of our relationship, but we worked together to get her to a manageable weight after having a weight loss procedure. After her 55 kilograms weight loss, she decided to get a mommy makeover, subtle breast impacts, and a BBL, which I was reluctant about, but I want her to feel comfortable in her body. She completed these procedures and recovery in early 2019, and for the first time in her life, she was getting so much attention from guys. I loved her new confidence in herself, and it translated well into our relationship. But over time she began to change. She would go out dancing every single weekend until 4 a.m. and never invited me, which I did not mind the going out part since I was never much of a dancer, but it sucked because we both work 9 to 5 Monday to Friday jobs, so we're both free on weekends. I wanted to join in for this new lifestyle of hers, so I began taking very expensive dance classes so that I could be invited. Nope, she still didn't feel comfortable even though the friends she went with knew me as well. I did not push the matter, but said that she needs to find days for me too, and she did. She invited me out to dance sometimes, but never with her usual group, and we did other weekend things. All appeared to be better after I communicated my needs, or so I thought. Last April, she said that she was going to a concert for an artist that she likes at a local club and was going with some friends. I did not care since I did not know this artist, so I did not expect an invitation because the tickets were expensive. I went to sleep around 1 a.m. and text her goodnight like I usually do, and she responds saying that they're heading home as well. At some point around 3 a.m., a friend calls and then texts me asking if me and her were still together. I asked him why, and he said because he's friends with her sister on Snapchat and saw a video with my fiancé grinding up on a guy while he has one hand on her ass and the other down her shirt gripping her breast. Then a video afterwards that appeared to show them going in for a kiss, but the video panned away. He recorded proof of this and sent it to me. I watched it and was shattered. I expected her to dance with men in clubs, but not like that. I waited until the morning to confront her, but she denied it. By 7 a.m. both videos were deleted from her sister's page and she blocked my friend who recorded the vids. She then stated that he was a gay friend of a friend of hers that went out also, and after she wore me down I began to believe her. She said they were both drunk and he gets a bit aggressive, but he's gay. I was still pissed, but forgave her. I told her never to do that again. She said that she was not that close with him and won't see him again. My dumbass proposed a month later at a family dinner. Fast forward to 2 days ago. A different friend of mine texted me asking if we broke it off, and I asked why. He said that he saw her cuddled with a guy getting dinner at a pool hall and snapped a pic to verify if it was her. Yep, and the dude that she was with was the gay friend that she claimed to barely know from last April. I then got curious, so I created a fake Snapchat with a different name so that I could subscribe to her sister's Snapchat. And from there I saw these old spotlight snaps that had emitted at various points over the last 3 years. She lied to me. She tagged him in a post, so I looked up his username that brought me to his Facebook page that had the same name. The dude is married with like 6 kids and his wife has no idea. I created another discreet account and messaged him asking how he knew my partner. I told him that I'd tell his wife everything, so he spilled the beans. He met her at a club and they've been dating on the side for 3 years. She never told him that I existed at all, but he was curious because there was some video that I was in and she said that I was her cousin. He had a feeling that something was going on because she was trying to break things off with him, which is likely because she did not want to bring that affair into our life when we moved in together and got married. I know, I'm a childish asshole for creating a fake account, but I was hurt and desperate. So, I'm going to leave this girl tomorrow. The only woman that I've ever truly loved was gaslighting me and betrayed me. I just wanted her to be honest, but she won't. I won't give her that chance now. I feel so angry that I want to publicly break up with her. Spill everything in front of her family, those aware of her cheating and those who have no idea. But I can't bring myself to do that, it's just not me. And I love her kid like my own. My world will be shattered when this happens. I am not really seeking advice, I just wanted to get this out and vent since I have not spoken to my friends about this. Has anyone else experienced something so crazy? How did you heal your heart? Update, the deed has been done. I told her about everything and she still denied it even with me showing her proof. I then told her that the guy she was cheating on me with was married, and this is when she started to cry. Seems like she cared more about him than she did about me. I do not know how I am going to cope moving forward since I just feel overwhelmed with sadness. I hope that it's a pain that ends soon, but I expect to be in misery for a long time. Thanks to everyone who reached out. Story 2. I caught my girlfriend sexting. We've been dating almost a year, though a good deal of it has been long distance. We were friends during grad school a few years ago, though both dating other people at the time. We reconnected on social media and talked for a few months before visiting each other. We finally went on a trip together and have been meeting and traveling together every month since then. Although it's only been a year dating, we were friends for several years prior. I feel like we have a deep connection and we have a wonderful time together. We have similar long-term goals and life philosophies. She is very supporting and encouraging, and I love how easy and natural things are with her. We agreed within the first few months that we weren't seeing or talking to anyone else, and that we were both looking for a serious relationship. We bonded talking about our past shitty relationships and were on the same page about not playing games and not tolerating or deserving mistreatment. Well, things had been going really well in most aspects, but I had some questions brewing. There would be weekends where she went out, and the story of who she went with and where would change over time. There were a couple times where she was tight-lipped about where she went or how she got in. I definitely noticed inconsistencies, but I trusted her. We talked several times about the distance, and each time affirmed that we were exclusive with each other. I supposed at the time she might have remained friends with people she had a soul history with, and while I didn't suspect any cheating, I thought she might not be truthful to save my feelings or avoid awkwardness. This is what I attributed the odd behavior to. I also thought there might be some inappropriate messages, but didn't have a way to verify it since we were living apart. She posted SXY photos on her social media every now and then, and I figured she liked the attention she got in her inbox. I surprised her for Valentine's Day last week. She was so glad to see me and cried in my arms. I was growing more and more uneasy however things were getting serious, and I still had questions she either dismissed or failed to provide a real answer for. I woke up in the middle of the night, and my insecurity got the best of me, and I checked her phone. Within a couple of seconds, I saw some soul texts between her and another man, talking about what they wanted to do to each other. They were from only a couple of weeks ago, many months after we agreed to be exclusive and serious. I was so upset, I didn't bother checking any other apps or looking for more. I confronted her about the texts the next morning. She said she didn't have any messages like that with anyone and brought me her phone to show me. I found it immediately and she said, "Oh, those." She proceeded to tell me that she is good friends with someone that occasionally SXTS her. She says she was afraid of not reciprocating as this person is an old friend and often kicks her good networking and career opportunities. She is very ambitious and adamant about moving up in life. It turns out that he was the one getting her tickets to these exclusive events. She told me she owed him a lot and he helped her advance her career. She said she's been working on an exit strategy, but in the meantime, feels like she still wants every opportunity to get ahead. I can understand being in a weird situation and not handling it well. However, I feel hurt by all the lying that led up to this. I asked her about him before, and she said nothing physical ever happened between them and they were just good friends. We told each other a few different times we weren't talking to other people. She said that there's no emotion behind it and none of it mattered, only I mattered. She said she hates when he does it. She said she plans to send him a message and tell him she doesn't want to do that anymore. She apologized and said she feels awful and is worried I will never trust her again. Her conversation with him does appear to check out. There were several instances of him setting up a meet and greet between her and people from different companies or agencies she is interested in. Immediately after she agrees and thanks him, he'll dive into talking about what he wants to do to her. She reciprocated. I told her if we had any chance of moving forward, we have to be completely honest with each other. She proceeded to tell me that they did sleep together a couple times a few years ago. I also asked about another guy that was flirtatious with her on social media, and she admitted that they used to SXT as well. When I had asked about him before, she said they only ever flirted. I hate giving this up, but I feel really hurt. I try to be good to her and be different than guys from past relationships who treated her badly. I try to spoil her and do all these special things for her, like doing thoughtful gifts and cards, or planning trips for us. The lying is really a big issue for me. I can let go of the past as long as we can trust each other moving forward, but she showed me that she was willing to lie repeatedly until confronted with evidence. I might be foolish, but I believe her when she says that nothing physical has happened between them since those encounters a few years ago. The few times she did lie, I was able to pick up on something being off, hence why I had persistent questions about certain things. I didn't get the feeling she was lying about not sleeping with or fooling around with anyone since we've been together. Is it worth trying to rebuild our trust, or should I let this girl go? TLDR, caught my girlfriend of a year sexting someone. She said he's a close friend that sends her a lot of networking professional opportunities, and she doesn't know how to say no without risking those benefits. She lied several times in prior months until I confronted her with the messages. She also admitted that she lied about the nature of her relationship with another guy on her social media. Story 3. Brutal revelation and aftermath new to this community. Just need advice from unbiased parties, so anything anyone can offer would be much appreciated. The below is 100% true. I've been with my wife for a decade, married for almost 6 years. From my perspective, until a week ago, our relationship was as strong as it has ever been. Despite her suffering a miscarriage a few months back, we had plans to try again moving forward, and I received a major promotion at my job which would really help support a family. This new job started a week ago today. I didn't perceive any issues in our relationship at any time. Super Bowl Sunday, my wife was upstairs making dinner and I was downstairs, had just turned on the TV. I received a notification on Messenger that someone was trying to send me a message. I saw it was an old friend from high school, so I went to open it. While I was in that subsection, I figured I'd clean out the others sitting, and there's not many. I saw one from 6 years ago, unopened, from someone I didn't know. I assume I never looked as I didn't know this person and just figured it was spam. Well, I looked. It was indeed someone I didn't know, and this person essentially wanted me to know that my at-the-time fiancé was engaging in sexual video calls with random people. He provided screenshots of the conversation, along with pictures. There was no room for misinterpretation. I went upstairs and confronted her about it. Now, my wife has always had self-esteem issues to some degree. Her story was essentially that when we got engaged, she became scared and basically would contact random people on Facebook for this type of thing to fluff her self-esteem. She was looking for extra validation. I was obviously angry, and while I didn't say it outright, she assumed that I was going to leave her. While I'm not proud of it, during the argument I broke a glass. And when she concluded that I was leaving, she took a broken piece and slashed her wrist with it right in front of me. It was not a superficial wound. Keep in mind all of this went on the night before I was to start this big new job. So that's really it. She has been in an inpatient program since then, and I have had a brutal week working this new job and trying to hide this major, traumatizing thing that happened from the world. My family and best friend know, really no one else. I have seen her during visitation 3 times. We have been able to talk about it somewhat. I don't know what to do. I love this woman and I don't want to throw away a decade, but the trust is gone, and I need to figure out if I can get it back. Another important factor to note is that there was a breach of trust early in our marriage. Not going to go into this, but it wasn't sexual in nature or anything like that, but at the time I offered her the opportunity to come clean about any skeletons she had in her closet, and she did not volunteer anything else. It may have been easier to deal with had she done so at that time. This was like being socked in gut. It may seem trivial compared to the awful things others on here have been through, and in some ways it is, but I am fairly old school. I have not done anything like this to her. And while she is adamant that she has never done anything physical with anyone else, and that she stopped this type of activity when we got married, how am I supposed to reasonably believe that? That explanation is about as favorable to her as possible, basically saying she's done nothing besides the thing I have real, logged proof of, and that it stopped right when we got married. The other thing that makes it hard to forgive is the language used. She is specifically talking about me, saying things like her fiancé is at work, etc., and though she doesn't use my name, this was on Facebook Messenger, and this guy obviously just clicked on her profile and found me right away. She comes home tomorrow. She is at least going to stay here because she has nowhere else to go close enough for her to retain her job, which is not particularly lucrative, but positive for her in other ways, and I don't want to take that away from her. I just don't know what to do with regards to our marriage, what I need to do to regain trust in her, if I even can do so, and so on and so forth. The fact that she committed this horrible act of self-harm right in front of me has me pretty shell-shocked too, so my brain is just scattered. Apologies for the long, rambling post. Any insight advice is appreciated. Thanks. Please hit the thumbs up for more stories